Hello, my name is Stephanie Villanueva, and this is my presentation on my site plan. Okay, so the location that I picked was the location that I'm really familiar with since I live pretty close by and I go there quite often. It's called the Arroyo Crossing Parkway Plaza, and it's just off of the 215 in Rainbow. And as you can see, there's a lot of stores and office buildings here as well. One of the already existing conditions at my site, summarized by the environment, is that it's mostly commercial, restaurant, and there's office areas as well. There's a lot of space in this area with a lot of parking lots that aren't really ever full. This site is also very car orientated, and the roads are pretty flat most of the time. There's no slopes or hills at all. And there are some intersections in the plazas um, that don't have traffic lights, but they're just kind of like four-way stops. Some of the pedestrian facilities that are currently at my site are that there's footpaths that are made out of mostly dirt, and there are sidewalks. Currently, the sidewalks are only on the left side of the road, though, and the sidewalks that are present are in actually really good condition. As you can see in the picture, it looks like they were just painted as well. And another thing is that there is a large presence of greenery around the site. You can see as well on the picture that there's a lot of greenery planted around the sidewalks and the footpaths as well. Some of the existing road attributes in my site include that the roads are in fair condition. There are some cracks on the road, and the paint on them is a little bit faded. And there are signs, traffic signs that are present as well. There's speed limit signs. There's quite a lot of stop signs and fire lane signs as well. And they also have a large parking lot with a lot of spaces and greenery mediums as well. Now for the walking and cycling conditions that are present at my site. There's not a lot, it's very low. There's some good lighting and pedestrian lighting where the sidewalks are at. There's also a lot of trees that do provide shading on the sidewalks too. The building maintenance is actually really good. There's no obstructions that are visible, and unfortunately, there is just one bus stop that is located kind of outside of the plaza, so the pedestrian would have to walk a little ways out of the plaza to actually get to the bus stop. Now, to get to my recommendations, the first recommendation I would add to improve the active transport are speed bumps or speed humps. The roads are pretty flat, and the drivers still tend to speed through the street that goes through the plaza. So, as you can see on the picture, that long street, the Royal Parkway Street, that's also where the sidewalks are present, and people probably do not feel safe walking through there since traffic tends to speed. So, adding speed bumps can actually lower the speed limit to at least 8 miles per hour, and the estimated cost would be $1,500 to $3,000, depending on the road conditions and other factors as well. I would also want to complete the sidewalks that are present. In this picture, you can see that there are sidewalks that are not complete. I think maybe because when they had built the road designs, they added signs that were in the way before the sidewalks were made um, in the area. But the rest is just dirt and it continues on for a while. Um, till it hits another section that does actually have sidewalks, kind of near the intersections. I think this would be very helpful since people will not have to cross the street to get to the left side where there actually is sidewalks that they can use. The estimated cost for this can be up to $2,000 to $4,000. Again, it's depending on the location and other factors on the site. I also believe that mediums are a great way to reduce speed and can help the pedestrian feel safer when actually crossing the street. Um, so it's kind of like an area where they wait and see if traffic is going too fast or is not safe. It also can improve overall environment since the site is mostly just parking lot and roads for the cars. It would add more of like a pedestrian orientated feel as well. I believe that mediums are a little more costly though because they require a lot more construction and planning. So the estimated cost I think would be about $5,000 to $15,000. Crosswalks would also be important to add here because there's a need to actually cross the street to get to the different stores that are across. There are some visible signs on the picture below. You can see they have like pedestrian crossing signs, but there's no physical markers on the road. Crosswalks can help drivers also with their yielding behaviors, so as making it more safer for the pedestrian. I think that a crosswalk can be added in the intersections since there's no traffic lights in the intersections as well. So the estimated cost for crosswalks can be $800 to $2,000. Lastly, I would like to add biking facilities. Currently, there are no biking facilities at my site. There are no biking lanes or areas where you can actually put your bikes in. So adding curbside biking lanes could be a good step since there isn't any present at all. That way cyclists have their own lane and don't have to get on the sidewalks or right next to the roads. Um, and the sidewalks are actually not in good condition as well since they do stop and get to the dirt areas, which would be hard for cyclists to ride through. Um, the estimated cost of the bike improvements can range from $5,000 to actually $50,000, depending on how many miles the bike lane has to be. Since there's a short area inside the plaza, I think it would mostly be around $5,000. The way I would evaluate my plan is by doing a before and after of some of the surveys that I mentioned on my first site plan. Um, this includes having a community survey of people that live near the area and actually go to the plaza. And also, it might take some time, but looking at data that is provided by some of the government websites that we have access to that have data about pedestrian safety. That way, we can see a clear statistic way to see if people are feeling safer and are actually walking more in the area. Um, I think it's important for overall safety in the environment. So if it feels safer and calmer, I think it would most likely be a success. Okay, and that is all for my site plan. Thank you.